Joining me now is Ari Fleischer, former White House press secretary, Fox News contributor, and Amala Ekpunobi, PragerU personality, former left-wing activist. Ari, this is so transparent, what they're doing with the student debt forgiveness. It's insulting, and it obviously just adds to our economic woes.
You know, and it's just morally wrong. Why is it student debt? Why isn't it college debt? Why isn't it your car debt? Why isn't it your home debt? Why isn't it all debt? I mean, what a burden. Nobody should have to pay any of their bills. It's wrong to make people pay the bills that they incurred. You know, what about all the rest of us who do pay our bills, who do pay our debts? Unemployment, as President Biden loves to point out, is low. People have jobs. They have money. So they need to pay their bills. Laura, this is just buying votes, as the Democrats always try to do. But it's also an example of how the Democrats are increasingly becoming the party of the rich. These are the well-to-do college graduates, master's degree holding college graduates, just like they want to bring back the relief if you pay your state and local income taxes, get to deduct all those, which benefit wealthy people with big houses in the mostly coastal states. Democrats have changed their roots and their base. They're the party of the rich.
They're losing young people. They're losing Hispanic voters, Amala. But this student loan forgiveness, as Ari said, that's targeted toward the young voters who are saying, what? This isn't what we thought we were buying. We bought Biden. My question comes August. They're obviously going to extend it again. Is this going to work? Are you guys cheap dates?
You know, you'll be hard pressed to meet a young person who doesn't love the word free. And when it comes to student loan debt, they love to hear that. They love to hear that it's going to be forgiven. But what about all the other families and students who have already paid off their loans? I didn't force anybody to go and sign a loan for $50,000 to go to school. They can keep trying to run on this lie that they're going to forgive this to people, but that's all it is. You see people like Chuck Schumer put out on Twitter, today would be a great day to cancel student loan debt. And I want to tell people that's all it's ever going to be. It's only ever going to be a tweet. They're not going to do this for you, and you shouldn't be fooled into thinking that they will. It's the very same thing that they do with Black Lives Matter. Every single election cycle, suddenly they care about Black lives, and they're going to do all this stuff for the Black community. And as soon as they're voted in, nothing happens. So people need to start waking up to this.
Well, speaking of Schumer, Ari, he just continues to reveal, for a man who's been in Congress since the 80s, he continues to reveal a basic economic ignorance. Watch.
It's amazing to me that we could just take a burden off people's shoulders so easily. With the flick of a pen, the president can do it. Student debt is one of the very biggest things holding our economy back. I have told the president this is one of the most important things he can do to help our economy grow.
Oh, he's just reading whatever the person, speechwriter or whatever, wrote for him. It's pathetic. He's reading it, number one. But Ari, that's the biggest thing we could do to, like, what do you say, get the economy going or help it? Really? That's their idea for growing the economy?
Yeah, they never talk about economic growth. They never talk about circumstances in the environment to let the private sector boom, give people higher paying, better jobs. That all comes from the private sector. It doesn't come from the heavy hand of government. But the common theme throughout all these Democrat/socialist policies is that life should be free, and that we in the government are here to make sure you have no financial burdens, requirements, needs, because the government will forgive you. It can't work that way. This is how socialist countries got doomed. They gave away too much free stuff. We as Americans are too sensible. We know this won't work. We know it's not right. And when you incur a debt, you have an obligation to pay the debt. It doesn't get more complicated than that. If you lose your job, you're unemployed, there are emergency systems that kick in to prevent you from having to go under or pay those bills. But as a general matter, no, you incur a debt, you pay a debt.
Now, don't borrow what you can't pay back. The old sayings of your parents, right? It's my mom used to say, don't borrow it if you can't pay it back. Amala, I've got to say, Democrats do have some top priorities, and one of them seems to be prohibiting hair discrimination. A Washington Post op-ed. Critics have argued that the Crown Act is redundant because the Civil Rights Act of 1964 already offers protections against racial discrimination. But supporters of the bill rightly point out that clearer language is necessary. Amala, this is geared toward minority voters, African-American women. I know this is popular with some of them. Will this help stem the tide of Black voters who are also looking at alternatives other than the Democrats?
You know, I think they're just grasping at straws at this point. A bill surrounding discrimination around black hair. Are you kidding me? I have never heard of a more ridiculous thing. And am I saying that people should be discriminated against based on their hair? Absolutely not. But is it a pervasive problem that we need to be focusing our time, our money, and our resources on as a country? Absolutely not. And I think it's because they're realizing that black voters are looking at the words that they're saying and it's not matching up to their actions. So again, they are grasping at straws, trying to push this racist, white supremacist narrative that they run with every single election cycle in hopes of gaining those votes back. And I don't think it's going to work.
No, it's sad. Ari, you know what else was sad? Today, at the end of another Biden speech, this happened. Well, first of all, Ari, he went to shake the hand of someone who wasn't there, and then he kind of does that. What's going on, Ari? Of course, no, Bush would never allow, his staff would never allow something like that to happen. It wouldn't happen. But where's the staff?
It wouldn't happen.
Why does this keep happening?
Well, let me try to be kind and maybe he was just gesticulating with his hand. Maybe it wasn't really him shaking the air. I don't know. But man, Laura, he was lost. He's wandering, lost on a stage. Presidents don't do that. You have crisp, clear instructions. You finish, you turn, you go out, stage left, stage right. He was told it ahead of time. There's usually a chart backstage that actually shows him physically with arrows. So he was lost. He was lost on a stage after giving a speech. And it's physically, mentally sad to see.
Now, Ari and Amala, thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.